Hi everybody, I'm Leah of seejanedrill, and if you've been putting off that spray paint project, well guess what? Today I'm going to show you how to use these spray guns. Let's get started. Okay, so here are our two guns here. Let's take a look at this one first, all right? What this is called is it's called a siphon-fed spray gun. And the cup holds the paint. It's siphon-fed, so the paint gets sucked up and through the nozzle. This is this conventional spray gun, it's becoming less popular because it wastes a lot of paint. Now let me show you the gun we're gonna use. So this is the gun that we're gonna use today. We're gonna set it up, we're gonna spray with it. Now what is it called? Well, this is called a high volume, low pressure gun. It's gravity fed because the paint cup sits above the nozzle. It's a popular gun nowadays. Well, why is that? Well, because there's less overspray, which means it's environmentally friendly, there's less paint in the air, and there's more paint on your project. Now, on a spray gun, you have several knobs to be mindful of. The first knob here, this is called the horn, and it controls whether or not the stream of paint that comes out is going to be vertical or horizontal, okay? What you have to think of when it comes to a paint spray gun is you have to think about the fluid that comes out of the nozzle and the air that comes up through the tool to meet the liquid creates a perfect storm. That's really what it is. The right amount of paint and the right amount of air coming together, and what it's called technically is atomization. And again, you have to really think of it as being a perfect storm of air and of fluid that creates this mist that you spray with. Now, to create the perfect storm, you see this knob right here? That's your fluid adjustment knob. That controls the amount of paint coming from the cup down through the nozzle. Then when we move down here, I'm going to flip the gun over, okay, so you can see the air supply. This knob right here, that controls the air. So the air and the paint meet, and that's what results in a mist, okay? Now, we know that this controls the fluid. We know that the knob that I showed you controls the air. So there is an air adjustment knob, and it's attached to the gun. There it is right there. We're going to leave it open, however, because we're attaching this regulator, which is going to control the airflow for us, and we can see exactly how much air we're using. Now let's take a look at this dial. Now what that really is a regulator, and it's sold separately from the gun, okay? You have to purchase it and install it. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so this is the handle to our spray gun here. What you want to do is you want to take plumber's tape, you want to wrap the threads. Now I've wrapped the threads with tape. Now I'm going to attach my regulator. Okay, so I've got my regulator attached. I've tightened it up. It's nice and snug. The next thing we need to do is we need to make certain that we can attach our hose, right? And the way we do that is we get a plug, a female plug. Female has the threads inside like this one. And now we attach this to our regulator. See at the bottom there are threads? I've wrapped those threads with plumber's tape as well. And now I'm going to attach the plug. This is going to tell me what my PSIs are. Now, the tool that you purchase tell you what to set your PSI to. Now, to do that, I have to pull this trigger. I'm going to pull it to set my PSI. Now, there's just air coming out. You have to set your PSI with the trigger depressed. Now I'm going to let it go. Notice how it shot up? Well, that's not what you're spraying at. That's not what I'm going to spray at. What I'm spraying at is when I pull that trigger and it drops, okay? I want to take a paint filter. That's what this is. This is going to strain the paint. What you want to do is you want to lock your wrists. You want to start off the project and then come across. Come across, and once you clear the project, then let go of the trigger. All right? Move your arm, don't move your wrists. So here we go. Now the other thing you want to make certain that you do is this. You want to be close enough to the project, okay? Within 6 inches, you want to overlap. That's the next thing you want to do. You make a pass, you come back, you overlap. Okay, folks, that's it. Okay, so I want to end today's session by saying compressor size really does matter, and this is the reason why. There's something called CFM, and that's cubic feet per minute. So if you've got a small compressor, there's just no way that you can spray paint because of the air requirement. The other thing you want to be mindful of before you start purchasing a spray gun to match that compressor is you want to make certain that the spray gun itself, the CFM requirement, is in line with your compressor. For example, you don't want to buy a gun that the requirement is 10 CFM if your compressor is only putting out 6. So we learned the basics today. You're ready to get started. Now you may need to, play with it a little bit, and let me make a suggestion to help you out. Start off by filling the gun with water and just experiment a little bit with all those dials, right? With the fluid adjustment, with the fan, with the air knob. Get a good feel for the tool before you actually fill it up with paint. This is Leah saying you can do this. See you next time.